Hi everyone, how are you? Thank you for coming to my channel, Spa, Beauty, and Wellness. Okay, all right. So here on this channel, what I talk about is a mixture of lifestyle topics. So I talk about cooking. I actually show cooking videos and techniques. I talk about different products. I talk about mental relaxation and techniques. So it's a mixture of things that I feel that is very important, that will make you feel peaceful within yourself, and then also on the outside as well. So my goal is to make sure that we're living in our gorgeousness. We are presenting our gorgeousness. We're beautiful from the inside into the outside. Okay. So if you like these particular techniques, these topics about relaxation, meditation, cooking techniques, just how to be well, inner health, outer health, let me know, okay? Be sure to subscribe, turn on the notifications because that's going to let you know when I have a new video up, okay? And I do like positive comments, so be sure to put positive comments in my chat box if you like, okay? And so we'll go from there. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started into today's topic, which is understanding your beauty, right? Why do we need to understand our perception? Why do we need to understand our beauty? Why do we need to understand who we are, especially as women? I can tell you many different reasons why, okay? So number one, that's going to deal with confidence. And confidence is going to determine what you feel about yourself. It's going to be connected to your self-esteem. It's also going to be connected to how you show up to the world. And so based on what you are feeling about yourself, how you see yourself, the way that you connect to yourself, that's the first step in understanding who you are, what your inner truth is about. And that's also understanding your purpose, your fulfillment, your objective in life, your legacy, where you want to be, who you want to be with, how you want to be seen. What do you want people to know about you? How do you want people to come to you? How do you want people to access you? What is it that's your goal at the end of the day? So what is your legacy? Okay. So it gets, very deep into into our inner thoughts. Most people think beauty, and y'all gonna have to help me with that because y'all, my dialect and where I'm from, I like to put that R. I like to put R's into words where there is not a R. So I'm trying to work on that. Certain words of pronouncing it, more outwardly. Beauty, 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 beauty. Okay, instead of beauty. You know what I'm saying? Instead of beauty, beauty, beauty. So that's my Southern grammar that shows up every now and then, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get back into the topic, which is classifying the type of beauty that you have, okay? So the first one is natural. Natural beauty is going to be showing up to the world authentically as yourself. You are going to have a bare face. You are going to have your hair natural. You are going to have yourself probably presented in a way that is very purposely simplified. And purposely simplified means that you're not trying to really do too much, or you're not trying to, put too much together. You are the type of woman that is okay of showing your skin, your natural skin. So you're probably going to wear a dress or something that is going to complement your natural features, and you're okay with that. And so what usually your purpose or what you are saying is that there are going to be no barriers between me and the next person. That next person can see me easily, quickly, and authentically. I am barefaced. I am natural. You can see my natural, features. You can get to know me pretty, quickly, just based off the fact of me being able to show up in a very simplified way on purpose. And simplified does not mean anything less than, anything negative. It don't mean plain Jane. It means that you understand that you want to be seen. Your humanity wants to be seen before anything else. And so that's something that's probably you don't even know, but that's something that's probably within your purpose, which is saying, I want to be seen, heard, and I want you to be able to get to me and get to me in a very, again, authentic type of way. Okay. So that's usually what kind of comes with natural beauty. There is a lifestyle that comes with it too. So usually my natural beauty women, they will use certain products. They will buy certain things again that aligns with trying to be as earthy as possible. Does that make sense? Holistic techniques. Usually you hear these women talking about. So you will hear them talking about using certain hair products, certain makeup products, such as like Bare Minerals makeup. Well, you know what? I just say that they don't wear makeup, but okay. But you kind of get my point though. is that is that the products and certain things that they're using, guys, is going to be sometimes a message which is aligned with being holistic, sometimes being nutritional, sometimes aligned with being, with wellness and all of that. There's usually a direct objective and alignment with the two. Not all the time, but sometimes you will hear and see it in a popular kind of way, popular enough for me to make an assessment on it. Okay. All right. So, which leads me to my next category, polished women. Polished women are women that are a combination of the two. Polished women still believe in being natural. They believe in showing up to the world still in a plain kind of way for the most part, but they are okay with putting on a little bit of makeup on. They are okay with putting their hair in certain hairstyles. So they're going to put a little bit of a jazz to it, a little bit of a glam to it, but still 80% of them, 80% of their personality still represents being natural based. So what that means is that probably during the week, Monday through Friday, there's probably a natural technique that's being used. On the weekend, okay, we're going out, we're going to the concert, we're going here and there. So yeah, this is where we're going to throw on the glam a little bit. We're going to, polish up a little bit. We're going to put a little bit of a bronzer on to bring out our cheeks. A little bit of a blush, a little bit of a lipstick. We may straighten our hair in a certain kind of way. So we're going to start incorporating some enhancements into our beauty, but not necessarily in a way to where it's going to be a whole nother category. It's not going to be in a way to where it's not going to take away from their natural beauty. So you will still be able to see and understand their natural side of themselves. You will still see it. It will still show up, and you can still, again, get a sense of who they are naturally, what they look like naturally, and that sort of thing. Okay. So it's just more so a polishing, meaning that we're going to, put a little bit of silver to it. We're going to put a little gold to it, right? We're going to put a little jazz into it, and that's all good and fine. Actually, some people will probably say, they'll say, hey, actually, going all the way back to your first category, my natural sisters are going to, again, do some of the same things as well. So they're like, okay, yeah, we do the same thing actually, and it could be, but um, but for the most part, as far as defining it, because I have to define it, in the podcast, uh, this is the way it's going to be usually set up, and this is the way that the beauty is actually organized. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next category of beauty. Okay, we have my glam sisters, my glam women, my glam girls. Okay, let's give them a hooray, yay. Okay, so my glam girls, they are the girls, they are the women, they are the women who you are waiting for to show up to your brunch, because you don't know what they are getting ready. You don't know what they're getting ready to wear. They are getting ready to come in, baby, and they are going to be the hair, the makeup, the clothes, the accessories, the whole personality is coming to their brunch with full force of energy. They're usually charismatic. They usually have, again, this high type of, energy and aesthetic about themselves. I love glam girls, because just by looking at a glam woman, um, her energy, just by looking at her, will be exciting, and it will, motivate you, and it's going to inspire you. It's so fun. It's so energetic. And so the reason why I even gave an introduction to like that, when I said hooray, hooray, it is because that's usually kind of the energy that they're carrying, this high energy. Nothing to, put my natural and my polished women, nothing to put them behind on the list. Again, this is all just categories, y'all. But yeah, but my glam women, they're the energy of your group, okay? They're the energy of your brunch in a whole different kind of way, okay? So, and I guarantee you, they've got an exciting story to tell you. There's something exciting that happened that week that they're going to say, and they're going to give it into those details. That's my glam women. My glam women are going to sometimes have a full face of makeup on. They're going to have, the clothes that represents certain brands. They're going to have their hair done in a certain kind of way. It's going to be the full package. They are coming with it, honey. And I love that. And I love that for glam women. And so those are the three categories of beauty, usually that comes with our personalities and how we show up into the world. Okay. Now, here's the interesting thing. All three of these categories can actually be interchanged depending on where you are in life, your age, what you're doing, what your career is, where you live, your objective. Are you married? Do you have children? You don't have children. You're not married. Who you're connected to, who your friends are, what type of spaces are you coming into. Those external factors and environmental factors actually play a part into which one you are going to present and show to the world. Not only show to the world who you're going to be within yourself, because it's very important to stress that point about who you are first before you actually show up to the world. Okay, so let me emphasize that. And so those environmental factors play a part into which one you're going to fall into. And again, you can switch them up at any time. I am the perfect example of that. I can remember starting off being a glam woman in my early 20s. I can remember moving off into the polish, and now I'm in the natural. So for me, it actually started, my womanhood and beauty actually started in high glam, very high glam. Never a full face of makeup. Let me say that. Okay. So I never wore a full face of makeup on a regular and all of that. And I'm not trying to say that that's what glam is. I'm just, putting that little detail in. So I was a high glam girl, as in like, I was okay with wearing lashes. I was okay with wearing like a bold red lipstick. I was okay with the hair, the clothes. So for me, I would actually say that what made me a high glam woman early in my early 20s, it would be the hair and the clothes. I always had my hair, fixed and done in some kind of way. I always changed out hairstyles. I always was wearing, the clothes, honey. The heels. I was very model like. Okay. So I was a high glam kind of woman. Then I would say at one point, I started moving off into more polished beauty. And polished beauty, again, is more so of the combination, whereas that there was things I started to kind of a little bit simplify a little more. So certain things such as like with my clothes, I would start to simplify my clothes, but I still might, have different hairstyles and techniques and still come with the hair, but I would simplify my clothes. And sometimes vice versa. I would say, okay, I would start paying attention to like, okay, I want to wear this very high glam kind of outfit, but let's go ahead and let's, be conservative on their hair. So I started paying attention to like basically how to switch the two out and how to balance it all when I became more in that polished, stage of like, okay, if you're going to kind of have the high glam hair, the big hair, maybe today we want to simplify the attire, not as in less than, because I never want to promote that thing of like that you're turning yourself into a prison or you're turning yourself into um, yoga pants and all of that. That's not what I'm saying. It's just more so I started to create a balance for myself. Okay. And now where I am at, I would say I'm more so in a natural space, I think. And so now when you see me, I'm very much, I'm very barefaced type of aesthetic. I keep a few wigs in my collection because you should always keep a few wigs in your collection. Always. I don't care how natural you are, what, it is. You always keep you a few wigs in the collection, okay? So I keep a few wigs in the collection, but I am primarily natural hair based. I wear my hair curly sometimes. I straighten it out and press it like you see it on this photo. I will, again, if you look at the photo, I have a combination of everything. So my hair is pressed. I've got the, bold red lipstick on, and I'm actually wearing a very, nice dress and everything. So, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I represent a very natural side of myself for me. And so I'm okay with, again, being barefaced most of the week. I'm okay with wearing my hair in the most natural way I can wear it. I'm okay with simplifying certain things about myself on purpose. Never again, as in like less than or, not coming with it. No. That's not what I mean. It just means simplicity with my beauty, simplicity on purpose, and simplicity with purpose. Yeah, I'm gonna put that together. Simplicity with purpose. So it doesn't mean that all of a sudden that I'm going to start wearing yoga pants. I'm not getting ready to disappear from the world. And that's what I want to stress to you is that natural beauty, polished beauty, and glam beauty, none of these is about disappearing from the world or overcompensating as well either. So my bigger point about all of this, guys, is when you understand what space you are in, that's when you're able to interchange them. That's when you're able to switch those beauties out accordingly and switch the beauty out accordingly without apology. You never have to stick with one or the other. It's all about, again, how you feel, why you're doing it, what you think is fun to you, what do you think is, good for you, what do you think is, what makes you feel good, what makes you want to get up, what makes you want to be motivated, which one makes you want to be motivated. Because I can remember days, and I know days now, whereas that if I had to think about showing up to the world in a glam kind of way, I wouldn't go nowhere now. I wouldn't go nowhere. If I think about like the fact that I gotta, put on a form of a production, meaning like I've got to put on my wig, I've got to, put on a certain amount of makeup, and I got to wear heels, and I got to do this and this and that. Honey, I probably wouldn't even show up no more to certain events. So, so that's why I say it kind of just, depends. Okay. Yeah. But then on certain days, uh, if it was not for me having the ability to show up in sequin, if it was not for the glam, if it was not the motive, again, if there's days I can think about that the motivation is the glam, the motivation is the fact, oh my gosh, I'm going to have my, I'm going to have my hair like this. I'm getting ready to wear this new, makeup. I'm getting ready to wear, this new outfit, this new shoe. I know days like that, whereas that it's very important, and that's what actually get me to turning the wheels. That's what make me want to show up to a meeting. That's what make me, speak in a certain kind of way. That's what make me feel a certain confidence when I'm showing up. So I'm good with it, okay? On either one, either one. Polished stage, I think, again, is a good balance of it all, because polish, again, allows you to combine the two. Okay. So yeah, y'all. So again, it depends on what's going to make you feel good, make you feel motivated, which one. And going back to my point when I say that some days that I will feel one motivation versus the other, what that means is that your inner femininity is speaking to you. Your inner femininity is going to let you know which one to operate out of. Like the femininity is going to say, you need to go put that Brazilian wig on. And you're gonna have to show up. Okay. The inner femininity is going to be like, okay, put that sexy black dress on, girl. Put that sexy black dress on with them heels. Show him what it is. The inner femininity is going to tell you how to work it, honey, and when to work it. The inner femininity is going to show you that you are beautiful no matter what. And so the femininity is going to say, hey, you know what? I want you to put some jeans on, and I want you to put a nice V-neck shirt on, put a nice, just simple black bodysuit on with your jeans. I want you to wear a simple sandal. I want you to slick your hair back. I want you to show those cheekbones. I want you to put a more peachy kind of lipstick versus a red lipstick. I want to see your natural moles, your natural freckles, and I want you to move out of that energy today. And when the inner femininity tells you to move out of that energy, it's telling you that you are beautiful on either category. And it's okay to wear a more less glam kind of way. And it's also going to let you know that you are just as glamorous with a little more of that simplified beauty that day versus glam. And there's days that you'll operate out of that beauty and you're going to feel very spectacular. You're going to feel real nice because you're going to be like, yeah, Yeah, I got my, natural peachy lipstick. You got a very natural bronzer on. It's gonna let you know, okay? Um, and you will be, again, confident. You will have the same results, inside and out. So listen to that inner voice within your femininity that's going to tell you which beauty to operate out of, okay? And be okay with all three categories. Be okay with glamming it up. Be okay with being natural. Okay. Never be afraid to be completely natural. Be okay with knowing how to balance the two, which is the polish. Yeah. 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 Because natural beauty isn't about no maintenance. Okay, did you know that it's not about zero maintenance? That's not what natural beauty is. Natural beauty still has maintenance to it. It still has a strategy to it. There's still techniques involved into it. All it's saying is that you're not going to you're not going to incorporate artificial things to your day. That's all it's saying. It's not saying that you don't, care. It's not saying that you're not going to comb your hair. It's not saying that you don't care anything about what you're wearing. That's not what natural beauty is. Okay. Natural beauty, I'm going to keep saying this, natural beauty is still showing up with intentions and with a purpose in life. Okay. So let's be clear on that. Um, yeah. Yeah. Natural beauty isn't laziness. It's not laziness. Don't confuse the two. Because there is certain times whereas that we will just operate out of not wanting to do anything or not, wanting to put, the effort or the techniques to anything. That's different, okay? You know? And if, yeah, yeah. So, and there's a time and place for that too, but that's a whole nother topic. But sticking to this topic, guys, those are three ways to understand your beauty, your gorgeousness, your inner, side of yourself. That's a way of understanding why you move the way you move, when you're going to move the way you move, what's your intentions, what's your objective, and that just again lets you know what the connection of the three are and how to connect those things also with the world, because everything I'm telling you is how the world will also see and begin to perceive things in a way as well, in their own way. And so yeah, yeah, yeah. So I do have just, I think, 1 minute. So let me just kind of say this about the way that the world see you. Be very careful on pleasing the world. Do not please the world. Show up with your truth. Show up to the world based off of the legacy that's within you. Don't get too caught up into, again, are you fitting into this, standard? Are you fitting into that? What is the world going to say? What is the world going to say? The world is going to say anything it wants to say on any day and how it feels. There's no consistency in the way that the world is going to talk back to you. The world can love you on one day and the world can hate you on the next day. So be very careful with pleasing the world, because you will and can go crazy. That's where, you can start to, base your life off of them, and that's not a good thing. Okay. So, don't get caught up too much into that. Okay. Now, do I think that there are certain, standards that we follow? Yes, I do. And that's okay too, because there is a reason why there are certain standards for certain things. Um, However, there's a understanding to that as well. Okay, don't mean to talk in a riddle, but what I'm saying is, we'll talk about that as well. Like, when standards show up, why they show up, when they show up, when it's appropriate to show up, and when it benefits you. Okay, and so that podcast will not be to contradict this podcast. It will be to go into deeper reasons to why and when standards are going to be beneficial, such as your job, such as social settings, celebrations, in those type of places. Okay, so that's where we'll get into why standards matter in those particular places. Okay, all right. So thank you for so much for listening to this podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and give positive comments. Be sure to turn on notifications. Okay, we'll see you soon. Much love to you. Stay beautiful, stay gorgeous, and we will see you on the next podcast. Bye.